Guardians lost in extras yesterday. Logan Allen, rough first inning, but rebounded nicely afterwards. He used his bullpen a little differently, too.
It was a weird game because Logan Allen looked – I didn't think he was going to get past the second inning.
I didn't think he was going to make it out to first.
Yeah, he gave a back-to-back home runs. The only reason they got out of that inning is because they got a double play.
Yeah.
He was a disaster. Walked like two guys in that first inning, gave him the 2 home runs. And then after that, and I made a snide remark to our group chat. I was like, oh, nice start for Logan Allen.
Yeah, you did do that.
And then he was lights out for the next 4 innings. Well, lights out strong. I mean, he only struck out 2 batters in the game. But he pitched really well after that. And ultimately, they lost yesterday for one of the rare times, not because of the starting pitching and not because of the hitting. They lost because of the bullpen. The bullpen did not get the job done. Cade Smith gave up 2 runs late in the game.
Yeah, he got hit
I
up.
thought it was very strange, Jason, that he switched up the bullpen yesterday, that Hunter Gaddis came in the 6th inning. I know Cade Smith's been great, but what they've been doing has been working. Yeah. I don't understand why, as great as Cade Smith's been, why change the roles last night Hunter Gaddis has been great too. I know we gave him a run the other day or whatever, but he's been lights out too. Why change their roles like that? I thought that was really odd.
I don't know, unless he wanted a certain matchup.
I guess,
in the earlier in the game. And like, I'm all for experiment. It's 162 games.
That's fair.
I'm all for experimenting. Yeah. You never know. What if Gaddis goes down in late September, October? See if Cade Smith can handle that role. So I don't have an issue with it. It was a little curious. I agree with that. And listen, they're not going to be lights out every game. You're going to have guys are going to be off. They are going to struggle. This bullpen has been phenomenal. You cut them a pass when it doesn't work once.
The only thing I guess I worry about is this a sign of things to come? Because A, just the nature of bullpens, it's hard to be great the whole year.
Right.
And B, they've gotten a ton of work.
The usage. Yeah.
And that's a concern because once again, you have a starter that he went 5 innings, and you're lucky he did go 5 innings. But now you got other guys coming because what's his name?
Cobb.
I was going to say Webb, but Cobb is coming off the IL soon. Looks like Mathew Boyd's going to come off the IL soon. It does appear that Bibby's going to be able to pitch this weekend.
What am I expecting out of Mathew Boyd?
Not much.
I don't know how you can expect. I mean, he hasn't pitched in over a year. He's never been, even at his best, he was maybe mediocre.
So he's just an innings eater.
He was a below average starter when he was healthy.
What was Ben Lively before? Like
nothing.
Below average.
Nothing.
Below average.
So there's
so
you're
worse.
telling me there's a chance.
But also,
Ben Lively wasn't even below average. He was a journeyman. I mean, he was worse than Boyd, but Boyd wasn't very
I
good.
don't know. Was he?
Boyd was at least an established major leaguer. Lively wasn't.
But this is major surgery he's coming off.
Yeah.
I think you're looking at Mathew Boyd as an innings eater just to take some pressure off this rotation between now and the end of the season. Unless he comes
How many
out,
innings is he going to eat, though?
But he's an option.
Yeah.
On a rotation that was very thin on options not that long ago, he's an option that doesn't cost him a whole lot.
Right.
You don't think he could get you 5 innings?
No. Not right away.
No.
I mean, hopefully in September he can give him 5. I mean, they may be at a point where they want to go with a 6-man rotation for a while, just to give some of their starters, some of their better starters like Bybee and Williams a break. Williams' last start was a disaster. He gave up 6 runs.
Yeah.
And you got a big series coming up this weekend with Minnesota. They're playing well. Kansas City's playing well.
Big series.
Right now, you'd have 3 AL Central teams in the playoffs, which I don't know if that's ever happened.
What is the Guardians lead on?
I think it's 4.
4.5.
You got the standings up?
3.5.
3.5. So 3.5 over Minnesota, 5 over Kansas City, but only 3 in the loss column in Minnesota. So, I mean, they're right there.
Yeah.
As well as the Guardians have played, and they're still on pace for 95-plus wins.
Your boy played well offensively. Jimenez.
He's my boy now?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a week or two they need to have Manzardo up here. They should call him up. I don't know what they're doing. They're so against trading prospects, and yet they're not here, some of these guys. Yeah. So
maybe how's he doing down there? Manzardo?
Great.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bottom of the lineup right now is a mess.
I think it's the same issues they had the first time. Where are you going to play him? If you're just going to DH him.
Well,
I think he should get more starts at first.
He of course should.
But they're very much, it seems that they're deferring to the veteran on that. And
Well,
letting
Naylor's got to get over it. He's got to DH. Couldn't he DH twice a week? I mean, what's the big deal?
I tend to agree.
So what I would do is I just play him against every righty. And either a DH or first base. And, you sit Fry against some righties, or you could play Fry in the outfield a little bit.
Yeah.
You could play Fry over
John Kinsey.
Man, I can't think of anybody's name today. I'm like losing my mind. You could play Fry a little bit in right field because Lane Thomas isn't great against righties.
Yeah.
So I think there's ways to mix and match and play Manzardo against almost every right-hander. I just think you have so many holes in the lineup right now, and it's deep enough into the season that I just can't wait for a guy who struggled all year to turn it around
Suddenly
at this point.
get hot in August.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't trust that.
I got a history question for y'all.
Yeah.
Jose, when he was young, he came up and got sent back to the minors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
a couple
then
times.
But then a couple times.
Well, he wasn't a big-time prospect coming out of the minors.
Wow, that's crazy.
That happens. That
standard.
happens for
It
most
happens.
But
players.
it's just
Mike Trout went down. Mike Trout came up and went down.
like
and came back up.
you hear some of these names and it's like, wow, they went through that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Go look at Mariano Rivera's stats as a rookie. He was a starting pitcher. He was terrible. And then he became the greatest closer that's ever lived.
Let me look it up.
I want to say he had a 5 ERA his first season, something like that. I mean, it happens all the time. Jackson Holliday is the best prospect in baseball. He came up, was terrible for
awful.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Went back down. They just called him up. He's been pretty good since he's been back up.
Yeah.
He homered against the Guardians.
Yeah.
I think he's got 3 homers since he's come back up in a week or whatever it's been. So, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I have your Rivera stats for Tyvus.
Oh, okay, what do you get?
Boy, you fast.
I have a laptop.
Yeah, go ahead.
In 19 games as a rookie.
Yeah.
Started 10 of them.
Yes.
In 67 innings.
Yeah.
He gave up 41 earned runs, 11 homers,
was
walked
right.
30 with a 1.5 whip,
That's terrible.
and an ERA of 5.51.
I even said he had a 5 ERA. What year was that? 91?
95.
95, not 91. Yeah.
The next year,
Wasn't that the strike? That was the strike season.
95 started late.
Yes, yeah.
144 games.
Well, 94
next year he got
early
moved to the
in
bullpen. He finished third in the Cy Young.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally
Right.
next year he went to the bullpen.
I know.
61 games pitched, gave up
Yeah.
25 earned runs in 65 games.
Oh, yeah.
Struck out 130, an ERA sub 2 and a whip sub 1.
Yeah. By the way, remember we were talking at the beginning of the year, like who we were talking about the starters to most likely to get Cy Young votes? The most Cy Young votes on the Guardians will be Emmanuel Clase. Now, he's not going to win, but I bet you he gets more Cy. Tanner Bibe's not getting Cy Young votes.
No,
How do you-
sadly.
Nobody else is.
So if you're a pitcher, how do you fall in? I'm sorry that this
Yeah.
is becoming a
that's
baseball
fine.
history lesson. How do you become a reliever? Like, how did Clase
So
come
it's
in
your
as a
failed
starting
start.
pitcher?
So it's different now. When I was a kid, nobody came up as a reliever. Everybody, any good pitcher was a starter, and then when you failed as a starter, they kind of moved you to the pen.
Okay.
By the late '80s, '90s, they started developing more relief pitchers.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of field starters who become dominant relievers.
That is true.
So
but now there's guys even in college who are coming up as relief pitchers.
So Clase is just a failed starting pitcher?
Clase was a reliever.
I think he's been a reliever pretty much.
when you have like one dominant pitch, you're a reliever.
But you know who was a starter when they first brought him to America was Aroldis Chapman. They thought he was going to be a starter
The
at
Reds.
first.
The Reds started him.
Yep.
Yeah. But
And when he was throwing 100, nobody else was
Right.
at the time. Now they got
Right.
a guy on every team. it
He's
seems like.
weird. He's honking.
He's awful. He's gross.
a lot of times, if you just have one wipeout pitch,
Right.
you can't make it as a starter on just one pitch.
Right.
But Rivera with the cutter, Clase with the cutter, you can make it as a one-inning guy. You can be a dominant reliever. But also, like a guy like Hunter Gaddis is a good example, who has 3 or 4 pitches,
Right.
was not a very good starter, though. You turn him into a reliever,
Right.
and he's a wipeout reliever.
Now, in fairness, I don't know if he didn't get enough of a sample size to know for sure he couldn't have been a good starter.
I don't know. I saw enough.
Yeah, but how many starts did he get? I mean, but he is immediately turned into a great relief pitcher.
Yeah, and
one of the best setup guys.
And there's a lot of guys, especially closers, former starters, who become very good.
Dennis Eckersley.
Jabba Chamberlain for a while was
really
not
good
as long.
Reliever. But remember, Kerry Wood became a closer. I know it didn't go well here, but what's his name?
There's a ton of examples.
Oh, there's so many examples.
Blanking on
anyway, a lot of times it's guys who are failed starters.
Okay.
But nowadays there are more guys that are being, even by college, are being groomed to be relief pitchers.
Okay.
Way more often. That never happened back in the day.
It's like the nickel position in football. You start off corner, and then as you got older, you kind of slid inside.
Right.
Nowadays, you got guys that specifically just do nickel.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
so a disappointing loss. They come back and tie it, and then they lose an extra innings. But
totally off topic of last night, though. How about Tristan McKenzie's last start? We both said
11
it's a failed.
strikeouts, didn't he?
Yeah. Where did that come
out of
from?
nowhere.
Where did that come from?
Out of nowhere.
It
was good to see.
Yeah, let's see if he can do it again and then again.
If he does it a few starts, we'll see. But
I'm still not ready to give up on him I think I'm ready to give up on him as a starter. Although if he comes
permanently or this year?
No, just this year.
This year, I am. Yes, I want him pitching out of the pen. I think they should be doing that
I think
right
he
now.
could be. I think he could be a viable option for them in October as a reliever. Even when he was getting blown up, we said that.
Yep.
But we'll see.
What's the pitching matchup today, Mike? It's Ben Lively. Oh, what's his name's coming off the IL for the first time? Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's Lively against the guy making his first start of the season.
Yeah, Eduardo Rodriguez, I believe.
I like the Guardians. I like the Guardians minus
I like
1.5.
Lane Thomas tonight plus over 1.5 total bases.
He has not been good as a Guardian yet.
But he kills lefties. Rodriguez is a lefty, and he's making his first start of the year.
He going yard then.
So I like him over 1.5 total bases. One other thing from baseball we have to acknowledge, the White Sox have now lost 21 in a row.
It ends tonight.